You're listening to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network on Riverside. I am your host, the owner of RAWF. In the game we all know and love is Wrestler Unstoppable. I am Lord Amadeus. My partner in crime, my co-host, he is...
¡Hola, muchachos!
He is El Vacant. Hola, El Vacant.
Hola, mi muchacho, ¿cómo está?
I'm all right. Hold on one second. Okay. Nope, this one. All right. Apologies. All right. I'm doing well. And how was your week? How are things going in your world this past week?
Oh, very well, very well. You know how it is being, a taco mogul and all that.
Taco Mogul. Yeah, so it says co-host Taco Mogul in under there. So, yeah.
Look, there are worse empires to have. I mean, you could be like a septic tank empire. Who wants that? I have a taco empire. Tacos are delicious.
All right. Well, yes, they absolutely are. And but let's get down to a business, ladies and gentlemen. We have some breaking news and GM reports here in RAWF. Let's get to some of them right now. And first of all, I'll start with the Hatfield and McCoy report. As of this moment, we are still in both tournaments are still in that process, but I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Right now in the Hatfield tournament, Vex has defeated Simply the Best to move on to the finals. She awaits the winner, the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar, on Little Miss Sassy. One of those two will face Vex in the Hatfield tournament final. In the McCoy, we are in the semifinals. The Paragon of Greatness taking on Mark Caliber, and Chris Cage taking on Spectacular. And I want to point out Chris Cage has won contendership for like two or three straight seasons of Hatfield and McCoy. Will he do it again? And at this time, he would be the reigning champion, so he would get to pick his own opponent. But yeah, he's on a roll in that. It seems like he's starting to own this Hatfield and McCoy tournament. Let's take a look at a couple of the other tournaments going on here. We've got, first of all, the Christmas party. Haven't mentioned that for a while. I probably should do that. And how that's looking right now. We are in the semifinals. However, Little Miss Sassy defeated DW. She is in the final match. She awaits the winner of Blake Bradley and the true badass Billy Gunn, and uh, which means all participants are getting out of there with at least 250,000 coins, possibly 1,000,000 coins if they come in runner up. The champion, of course, gets 100 wrestler bucks. Let's take this tournament real quick. And that is in the semifinals. You have Papa Shaker taking on Chris Cage, his tag team partner in the Cage Shakers. And on the other side, Hobo Ezekiel and the Paragon of Greatness. One of those four will win the extra points tournament and get themselves 25 extra bonus points in the rankings. Let's take a look at Arsehole of the Month. And right now, that is in the finals. The reigning men's champion, Immortal Griffith, awaits the winner between Scythe and Mark Caliber to see who will be Arsehole of the Month. If Griffith wins, being the men's champion, he gets to choose his own opponent at Unyielding for the men's championship. And then finally, Biatch of the Month. It is in the semifinals. You have on one side Davila and the reigning estrogen champion DW Diesel Warrior. On the other side, Revenge and the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar. Ooh, that's a pretty good final four there for the Biatch of the Month. Who's going to walk out with that one? We will find out. All right. So, real quick, let me go take a look at the tag team division and what Unstoppabot has got going there. Right now, in the top 5 tag teams after 3 of 6 rounds. In first place is Thunderstruck, which is Destroyer and Magnificent Michael. In second place, Hellhound, Soul Reaper, and Nightcrawler. Hotness Overload in third place, Brew and Menzino and Menzino. In fourth place, Absolutely Fabulous, which is DW and Tigress. And in fifth place, the Royal Pains, myself, and the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar. So that's where we stand in the tags division right now. Let me take a look real quick at a couple of Psycho Girls events and see what's going on here. It looks like she got it kicked off a few days ago, 5 days ago. Looks like that first round is in process. And if I'm remembering correctly, it's like a tier stage event. So, and then Candy Capers. Let's take a look at that real quick, see if there's anything I can announce there. And it looks like she got week 1 started a few days ago. It looked like she got a list of 21 people signed up for Candy Capers. So good luck to all of them. All right. So that is now. Well, we do have one other person I know can make a report. First time we've had her in the new studio. Let's everyone give a big hand to.
Do you feel I'm proud the night? Mother Anarchy, fierce and right, strong yet vulnerable, a sight to see. Night's wild heart coming for thee. Hot-tempered gleam in her eye, with each roar life's demons die. Sexy radiance burns like fire, Cougar Night, your darkest desire. The chains rains down, fury drives you insane. Family first in the hearts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of Anarchy, Cougar Night, joining us. Cougs, are you there?
Of course I'm here.
How you like the new studio? What do you think of the new digs here at Riverside?
It seems to be a step up, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm digging it. There's some good stuff here, and I'm looking for. I'm still getting used to it though. We're gonna hopefully in the coming weeks get real comfortable here and get things really rocking. So, Cougs, it's been a while since we've heard from you. Where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with the easiest one, which is anything goes. I'll have that scene up within the next 48 hours. I am not going to be putting the match rules in the scene like I have previously. I will be putting them in only when the matches are going on. That way there's no confusion. I have gone through and written them out as clearly as I possibly can. I do expect there to still be some questions on which moves are usable, which moves aren't. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you have a question about any of that. Also, if there is a match that you want to see, let me know and I'll see what we can do about adding it to the lineup.
All right. And what about the high voltage invitational?
My
I'm
baby.
assuming you were done.
Yeah,
Your
yeah, my
baby.
baby. High voltage is my baby. You know, I take care of that one. I'm going to brag and say that it is probably one of the hardest ones as far as the trash talking goes because that is where you earn your points. Um, I will say that one of the top four only won 2 of their 7 matches, and they still made it into the top 4 because of the trash talking. So when y'all sign up, remember, tell me a story, start a feud, make it make sense. I don't care. As long as you're talking to me and I can understand what you're saying, you're going to get some good points. Our highest point person was 145 points this time, and our lowest was 65, and that was a newcomer who had never been in the division before.
Nice. Very
So,
nice.
with that said, our 4th place person is Hotshot Chaz. I was kind of rooting for him. You know, he's my boy. He did really good, and he was one that got the extra 10 points for the best talking match. 2nd place is Extreme Enigma. He got 5 points less than the winner. And I believe he had somebody that just didn't respond as well to him as the winner did. And that does affect the points. And then, of course, the winner, I'm sure everybody can guess, is none other than Chris Cage.
How many of those has he won, do you think, at this point?
The better question is how many hasn't he won?
Yeah, exactly. But so, what does this mean?
This means there will be a title match between our current title holder, Paragon of Greatness, and Chris Cage tomorrow at Superstars.
And of course, we're live from Oklahoma City tonight, which is where Superstars will be tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But Cougs, anything else to add that you wanted to discuss about your divisions?
Like I said, both scenes should be up within the next 48 hours.
Alrighty then. Ah, excellent. So, since we got you here, and I know sometimes you like to cut out a little early, and I know you're still a little under the weather. Let's talk about what's going on with you. An opportunity possibly to get that estrogen title back in the semifinals of the Biatch of the month against Revenge at the moment. Talk to me how that one. I almost think the estrogen title would be your baby as well. Maybe your second child. I don't know, whatever you want to call
I,
it. Are you striving to get your baby back
of
there?
course, I wouldn't necessarily call it my baby unless it's just referring to titles that I wear. Because I will always put high voltage above anything, even the title itself.
Fair enough. And you're also still I believe, in the running for the Hatfield and McCoy Championship. It'll be the first time if you were able to get to that far. Your thoughts on possibly being a Hatfield McCoy champion in the near
That
future?
actually surprises me. I'm quite excited about being as high up in that competition as I am. I faced some pretty good guys this time around, and I really am surprised that I'm as far as I am in that one. I don't look forward to facing Vex should I win my match. But hey,
Well, yeah, I can't blame you there. Can't blame you on that one. El Vacant. El Vacant.
he's not speaking
Are
to
you
me.
there? Are you not speaking to her?
Oh, there we go. The mic was not there. Okay. See? How can I help you?
Anything you would like to say to Coog since it's been a while?
Uh, hmm. Hmm. You still married?
Yes, I am.
Boo. You still, like, real about it?
Yes, we are.
Duh.
Come on.
Has he gotten a little more, I don't know, open-minded?
No.
No, I guess I'm done, boss.
Okay. All right. All right, Kooks. Well, stick around if you want to talk a little bit later, but enjoy the new studio. There's new refreshments out and enjoy.
Thank you. And I'll stick
And
around for a little while.
all right. That is the First Lady of Anarchy, Cougar Knight, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see her. It's been a while. All right. So, with that being said, we now have to turn our attention. We got all the events out of the way, I do believe. So, now turn our attention to tomorrow's Superstars, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC. For the Superstars Championship, it'll be Papa Shaker, who just defeated Destroyer last week to become the new Superstars champion. And he joined. I believe he won. He added to his amount of times. Let's take a look here. I want to say he's a 4-time Superstars champion now. Don't know why I just went Mickey Mouse on everybody, but he's now a 4-time Superstars champion. Right now, he joins Paragon of Greatness, Kayla the Governess, Killa Neptune, Money Sue, and the Extreme Enigma as 4-time champions. All right. He will defend that title against Rick Nelson. Rick Nelson already won half of the World Tag Team Champions with Strangleheart, looking to hold 2 titles here in RAWF. And then, of course, the Ultimate Gauntlet Championship will be on the line tomorrow. The Immortal Griffith defends against the Extreme Enigma in a rematch from their multimedia contendership match a couple weeks ago. And as Cougs mentioned earlier, the White Lightning Championship will be on the line. The Paragon of Greatness to defend against Chris Cage, and this is the White Lightning rivalry. El Vacant. These two seem to always be in the mix. Your thoughts on any of these matches that we have planned for tomorrow?
I mean, I think we have a pretty busy card tomorrow, and I think. I think our fans are going to get their money's worth for those tickets, is what I think.
All right. For the rest of the matches, the Magnum card, let's go to our man on the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, Randolph Mortimer Draw, a.k.a. Randy M. Draw, is here. What's up, Randy? Hey, boss man, how you doing? El Vacant looking good. The studio looking great. I'm loving it. It's a new day. What's up? How you doing, El Vacant?
Oh, I'm doing just what's the phrase they use? Peachy. That's the word, peachy. Yes.
Speaking of peachy, I got some Mad Dog 2020 out in the car. I think I got some peach flavored if you'd like to try some.
Why do you hate you?
I'm sorry, what?
You work for RAWF, the biggest wrestling company in the world, and you're drinking Mad Dog? Why do you hate you?
That's good stuff. Let me tell you. I've told you before. That's the nectar of the gods.
No. Let me give you a word, and then you'll look up that word, and then maybe tonight after the show, I'll bring you out and I'll find you a place to get it. The word is sangria. You want
Gesundheit.
fruity wine, sangria, my man.
Okay, I'm always up for to try different things. Don't say I'm not a man of the world, because I'll try anything once.
Twice if it hurts.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. But
Okay.
do
All
you know
right.
what you're saying?
All right. Enough. Randy, tell us who is fighting who on Superstars tomorrow. All right, the undercard for tomorrow's Superstars here in Oklahoma City. You got Miss Moist Maker herself, Destroyer, taking on Money Sue. You got the chairman, the Razor, taking on Magnificent Michael. Big Papa takes on D's. Paragon of Greatness will have to wrestle a second match because the White Lightning title cannot be a rankings match. Paragon of Greatness will take on Little Miss Sassy. That guy takes on the Moose. Hot Cheese takes on Sophia McFadden. Tigress to take on Kitty Kabam. There's a cat fight right there. You know what I'm saying? Miss Cougar Knight, I just heard her on Welcome Back Cougs, takes on Nimue of Leonese. Redneck Avenger takes on Toxic Megatron Avenger. It's an Avenger battle. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Kent versus Ciro Il Napolitano. Maeve O'Hare takes on Billy Gunn. Allie Knight takes on Aaron McFadden. Andy Price takes on Kayla the Governess. Scythe takes on Big F and the Hitman. Chris Cage takes on, I can't say it like you do, El Vacant, but I'm going to give it a try. Beast.
You sounded like the Cookie Monster.
The Minion takes on Stormtrooper of Death. Agent of Hate takes on Greek God Jim Steele. Revenge takes on Angel Bitch. Flynn Savage takes on Roger the Pirate. Johnny Mayhem takes on Damia. Blake Briley to take on Kenny Boy Cancasta. Crazy Serb to take on Hobo Ezekiel. Mancunian Maniac takes on Undertaker. Dark Warrior takes on Psycho Girl PG. Hotshot Chaz to take on Luzon Warrior Queen Falcon. Strangleheart takes on Nightcrawler. Sean Hitman Hood takes on Crazy Mama. Evan Deadly takes on Joey A. Mystic Maniac takes on Black Lilith. Spectacular takes on Soul Reaper. Sassy Applebee's to go one-on-one with Simply the Best. Seabell takes on Uber Vegan TPO. Mark Caliber takes on The Crippler. Natalia Nitro takes on Eva. Davila takes on Marquis de Sade. Tad Beagle Wolf Dennis takes on Killer Neptune. DW Diesel Warrior takes on Starshot. Knox Boogie takes on Boney. And Miss Beautifatal takes on Wildfire. That's your undercard for tomorrow here in OKC. And yeah, I'm good. All right. So you got gonna hook me up with some what'd you call it? Sangria? Sangria?
Sangria. It's the royal blood.
I don't drink blood now. That's a little.
It's not actually blood. You're fine.
Oh, all right. Just letting you know that ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Sex on the beach isn't semen and sand. You know what I'm saying?
No, but let me tell you something. It's really good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Except when you get sand in your orifices.
No, that's never good.
All right. I'm out of here, boss man. Thanks for having me. I'll see you all later. All right. That was Randy M. Draw. And by the way, folks, I want you all to make a note. There will be no radio show, no after hours next weekend. I am not competing with the Royal Rumble, especially when I want to watch it. So we are not. There will be no after hours next Saturday. We will return 2 weeks from tonight, though, right here on Riverside. All right. So, with all of that being said, we're going to take pause for a commercial break. When we return, we will be discussing unyielding. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
The ring is set, the lights are dim, the crowd is roaring, ready to begin. Two superstars stand facing their fate. One will walk out, the other won't escape. Leading towards death, wrestling, a fight for survival, no time for resting. Every move could be their last. In this game, death comes fast.
That's LTD leaning towards death. Digital Wrestling E-Fed streaming live on the Blaze Radio Network here on YouTube. All original custom creations, unique events, arenas, and titles. Over 90 active wrestlers here fighting as the gladiators of the Combat Kingdom. Join us on this wild and wacky ride, and I'll see ya in my stream.
Leaning towards death, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube. Blaze McCoy. Whoa. Okay, stop. All right. Why it was on, not sure why it was on loop, but we'll go with that. Yeah. Nice logo there. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen. So, L vacant.
See?
See, before we get into unyielding talk, let's. I have a promo from Mark Caliberry. He had a message for everybody, so let's take a listen.
Do we now?
Yes, let's take a listen.
Oh, let's.
Good evening, RAWF After Hours. I just thought I'd drop by to bring you a little announcement and a message. For those who missed what I said previously, myself, Andy Price, and our ruler, our leader, our queen, Winter. You may call us the Murder. And just for the record, not the type of murder that's very typical nowadays. The Murder is a name for a group of crows. So here in RAWF, whenever you hear the Murder, that's what we are. Vultures flying around, looking for our prey. And Hobo Ezekiel, I understand that you may feel a little bit of disdain or maybe that little taste of that mistletoe in your mouth. If you still feel raw about it, Hobo, you are more than welcome to retaliate. We will be waiting for you. I do have a feeling sooner or later you want revenge, so by all means, step up to the plate. And this one goes to Chaz. Hotshot Chaz. It's not official that he's joined us yet. Considering a recent comeback, I know he's already part of the family, but Chaz, has that family really been beneficial for you? Now, I know I haven't really helped you out a lot, but see, before that, I didn't have a family. But now I do. And I know for certain you may want a new family yourself. So by all means, Chaz, come home with the murder. Come home with us. We will show you the path of salvation. We will show you the path of destruction. We will show you the path of what you have always desired. Let us know, Chaz. But do bear in mind, the old saying goes, you're either with us or against us. But I hope you make the right decision. And as for the murder, our crusade continues. If you thought what we did to Hobo Ezekiel was bad, things are about to get worse. Good evening.
Well, for
All
crying
right.
out loud. As I said, still getting a bit. Anyways, El Vacant, what are your thoughts on what Mark Caliber had to say?
Somebody give that guy some caffeine.
But still looking to get Hotshot Chaz in his little group there. He
He
has.
is. He's trying to pull somebody else out of anarchy. He should be careful because Cougar's here. She might just go and go a little eyeball meat claw if he keeps this up.
Indeed, he might. All right, time to talk about Unyielding, ladies and gentlemen. It comes to us live in February 16th from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. It
The
is
dumbest
just
arena name in the history of ever.
it is just 3 weeks away, and we already have some interesting matches signed. Let's take a look here. Some title matches. We have the Multimedia Championship on the line. Tigers will defend against Extreme Enigma. What are your thoughts on Tigers and Enigma for the Multimedia Championship, Elvis?
I got to go with Tiggs.
I can't disagree.
I mean, partly because look at her.
Here's my thought on this matter. Enigma's kind of on a high right now. He won the multimedia contender match over Griff a couple weeks ago.
He did.
If he somehow manages to beat Griff tomorrow, that is huge for him. And I'm not just because he wins the title, because that's huge momentum going into an Unyielding as far as I'm concerned. But if he loses to Griff tomorrow, then I definitely can see Tigers just having his number. But what are your thoughts? Am I just talking out my butt
I
here?
think if he manages to beat Griff tomorrow, he absolutely loses to Tiggs because he's used up all the luck that the universe will ever give him.
That's true. I mean, it is a rare thing that somebody can beat Griff twice. There's no doubt about that. So let's see. We will find out in just 3 weeks' time. Next up, it is the Triple Crown Championship. Hold on, there we go. It will be Starshot defending against two of RAWF's toughest women, Sassy Applebee's and Seabell, challenging Starshot for the Triple Crown Championship. Who do you like? This one is a toss-up to me. Even though Starshot obviously has the advantage as the champion, only technically has to beat one of his opponents. I think this was going to be a short reign for Starshot. I have a feeling one of these two other ladies is going to win that title, and I'm kind of leaning towards Sassy. What are your thoughts?
That's kind of where I was thinking. I think Sassy is the obviously favored wrestler in this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sassy walks out as Triple Crown champion at Unyielding, but We will see. It's not that Seabill isn't capable and or Starshot, but I give the slight nod to Sassy in this one. Next up, the Fubar City Championship. And Ken Costa last week, you heard his statement, but that was when he thought he was facing uh, Hotshot Chaz for the Fubar City Championship. Now, as it stands, and I did forget to mention this, we have a new Fubar City champion. The Immortal Griffith defeated Hotshot Chaz last week to win the Fubar City Championship. And now Ken Costa may have the challenge of his entire career to wrest a title, a hardcore title, away from the Immortal Griffith. This could be the biggest win in Ken Costa's career or the biggest letdown. What's your thoughts?
I give Ken a lot of credit because as soon as he realized, that hey, my shot just changed. He went full bore in. Like he didn't sit around worrying about it. He didn't sit around going, "Oh, woe is me." He said, "All right, this is this is who I'm fighting. This is who I need to go take the belt away from," and he just charged headlong into it. So he's got a lot of guts. He's got a lot of, what's the word I want? How do you say it in English? Chutzpah. Yeah, that's it. That being said, trying to take a hardcore title away from the guy who, made his career in hardcore doesn't seem like the smartest choice, but hey, it is what it is.
Ken Costa could certainly, though, put a huge feather in his cap and unyielding if he somehow manages to win the Fubar City title from the Immortal Griffith. Next up, the Midnight Hobo Championship. It is Billy Gunn defending against Nightcrawler. This one's going to be a good one. Billy has. I give Billy his kudos. He successfully defended the Midnight Hobo Championship against Chris Cage last week, or what was it? Chris Cage? Yes.
Yes. See.
And so that was a big stepping stone. He now has to take on a Nightcrawler. Who do you like here?
So, all right, I think first of all, that's actually a really good picture of Billy. That might be the best picture I've ever seen taken of him. But that being said, I lean towards Nightcrawler for a host of reasons. But I wouldn't have bad feelings if Billy managed to pull this out. Billy's been right on that cusp of doing something great in RAWF, and he's seen some success, seen some failures. I would love to see him break through that barrier and take this title.
Yeah, I mean, either way, this is going to be a good match. Either way, certainly. Billy, though, yeah. I don't know which way to go on this one either. It's a good match either way. We will find out in 3 weeks' time. Next up, all right, there we go. Next up, the Nash. No, stop. Come back. There we go. National Championship, Simply the Best defends against Hobo Ezekiel. Ezekiel getting a win over Destroyer a couple weeks ago in their contendership match, but he's been quite distracted as of late, keeping Mama Moose safe from Destroyer, who's hunting that moose at every turn while trying to figure out who she's being stalked by herself. She's kind of in the middle of stalking a moose and being stalked. And I'm still working on that, D. I really am.
I think it's the moose. I think the moose is leaving the notes.
Moose, as far as I know, can't write.
Maybe she dictated.
I mean, as far as I know, Moose can't talk either.
I don't know. According to Hobo, he talks to her all the time. So.
But I don't. I think right now, I think this is the wrong time for Hobo to be challenging for a title. I think he's got a lot on his mind right now. I think he's a bit distracted. But at the same time, he's been distracted before and still managed to win championships. So, what are your thoughts?
So, funny enough, it's almost exactly what you were saying. It's like, I feel like if he can go into this match and not be distracted, this title's his. But if he is even the slightest bit distracted, Simply the Best is too good to not immediately capitalize that and take the win. So I think it's all going to matter of if someone out there eating a chocolate chip cookie could just lay up on the moose for a pay-per-view to let somebody wrestle to his best, that would be wonderful. But if that were to happen, I think we're going to see and new. I don't expect that to happen, so I expect, mid-match, you're going to, he's going to be setting up for his finisher, and you're going to see suddenly a moose run through the stadium being chased by a crazy woman with a gun. He's going to get distracted and get beaten.
You realize what you just did, right?
What?
You called her crazy on air.
I didn't say who it was. I just said it's going to be some crazy person with a gun. If you put a name to that, that's on you.
I did not put a name to that. But at any rate, should be a really good national title matches. And then Platinum Dragon Championship, Killer Neptune is not letting this title go without a fight. He technically did let it go. He's coming back for it. It's a rematch once again from Jingle Hell Rock. D's having to defend against the former Platinum Dragon champion, the man who's held the title more times than anyone, Killer Neptune. Who do you think walks out as the heart and soul of RAWF?
Man, it's hard to not pick Killa on this one. I mean, he had it for a really long time. He lost it, immediately won it back, lost it again. I feel like we're going to see the same thing. He's going to take it back again. Honestly, I think he's just trying to see if he can have that title as many times as Griff has had the world title. I think that's his plan.
I didn't think about that, but you could be right. Let's take a look here. I want to look at the record. Well, I mean, he's got to win it 5 more times. He's currently a 5-time Platinum Dragon champion. So he's got to. If he wins it at Unyielding, that makes him a 6th-time. Still 4 times behind Griff's world title record. So he's got a lot to work to do if that is indeed his master plan. But I don't know. We shall see. I've heard he's had crazier plans in his career. That's for sure. So. It should be a very interesting matchup for the Platinum Dragon Championship. And finally, in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, it will be the Paragon of Greatness defending the title for his first defense. But he's coming for it as a member of the Elevated Society. And he's former champion himself. He is STB. This is a very interesting matchup. Can Paragon of Greatness keep the World Heavyweight Championship out of the Elevated Society's hands?
I'm sure he is very motivated to do so. And after trying all of these years to get back into the spot of being the RAWF World Heavyweight Champion, I can guarantee you the last thing he wants to be is a transitional champion. And I think Simply the Best is in for a very rough night.
I don't disagree. I think Paragon is going to be ready for STB, but of course he's also got to keep his eyes open for the rest of the Elevated Society. And they just seem to keep growing and growing. As a matter of fact, they currently hold the National Championship, the Superstars Championship, among several others. So this is going to be a very interesting main event for the World Heavyweight Championship at Unyielding. All right. So that is our Unyielding report for this evening. We'll talk more about Unyielding as the night goes on. Let's start with our first caller. I believe he wants to talk about Unyielding as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. from his, I guess, family home in Florida, the Celtic Nightmare, the Soul Reaper, is joining
Good
us.
evening.
Good evening, Reaper. And how are
A
you?
little on edge because I've been having some really creepy things happen.
Uh-oh. What kind of creepy thing? People have been leaving notes for you, too.
In the form of vultures' feathers.
Oh, well, that's not good. Have you? I mean, I think that could only really mean one person, if in between you and me.
Yeah.
So, well, talk to me about what you think you might want to do about that, if
Well,
anything. I
I
mean,
have a match
certainly
in
that
mind
would.
I plan on challenging her to, but I'm going to be making a scene about it this week on Superstars.
Okay. Well, I mean that's good, but I mean, come on, you give me a hint. I love hints. I really do.
Wings of shadow stretch, talons grip on trembling fate, life's breath slowly drawn. Feathers black as night, patience weaves its web of fear. Hope's light flickers dim, wretched cries resound beneath the vulture's keen gaze. Time slows to a crawl. Whispers in the dark, promises of endless pain. Your desire is apparent. Soul's thread unraveled, carved from despair's flesh, torn between life and the void. The soul reaps its doom. Circling overhead, each heartbeat a drum of dread, dancing with despair. Nest of broken dreams, where echoes linger and fade. Crimson mist descends. A feast of regrets. Bitterness serves the vulture. Savor every bite. Shadows intertwine. The vulture's cruel lullaby. Sing me to my end. In the silence deep, a soul's lament echoes wide. The vulture shall feast.
I'm a dead man walking.
I believe that. I believe that message was for
I
you.
kind of gathered that.
Yeah.
Well, sure as hell wasn't for me. Mm-mm.
I mean, how is it you get yourself into these situations,
It's not that like I
Reaper?
go out looking for trouble. It pretty much knows where I'm at most of the time.
Now I'm going to back up. You don't go looking for trouble.
Sometimes I do, but most of the time it knows where I'm at.
Mister has never found a wrestler they weren't willing to challenge for no apparent reason whatsoever, basically because it was a day ending in the letter Y.
I mean, yeah, I go, but most of the time it pretty much knows where I'm at.
Well, so you are going to challenge Eva for unyielding. You just don't want to tell us what it is just yet.
It's going to be first blood.
Did you not see what just happened to that piano on the video we just saw? Are you sure you that was not that? Yeah. Are you sure that's what you want?
No, there's no turning back now.
All right. It's what you want. I'm assuming Eva would accept that kind of challenge, a first blood match.
Gee, I wonder if Eva will take a blood match. Let's ponder that, shall we?
Yeah, let's.
I'm pretty suggested a bloodbath match, but thought maybe first blood would probably be more appropriate because pools of blood I don't think would be easy to come by.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, all right, so a first blood match it is. Let me write that down. I love your confidence.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Don't. So that is indeed what it will happen. A first blood match between you and Eva at Unyielding, and yeah, good luck with that.
I need to make sure my insurance is up to date.
Ah, don't you always?
Considering the shit I get myself into, yeah. I also need to make sure my life
Yeah.
insurance is up to date.
All right. Well then, Soul Reaper, Elvacan, anything you'd like to ask Soul Reaper while he's here?
Not so much ask as maybe give a piece of advice. So if you find that maybe you need a little help, uh, I can put you in touch with my abuela. She's a little bit of a mystic herself. She may be able to give you, some
Abuelita?
words, little help from that
Abuelita
evil
or
eye.
your
Yeah, my
or
abuelita. Yeah, abuela,
grandfather?
abuela,
No, abuela.
grandmother.
Mother would be madre.
All right.
Are you really going to sit here and correct the Mexican on Spanish?
Madre is just another way of saying mother.
Yes. In Spanish, especially in Mexico, the correct term for your mother's mother is abuela.
I would have thought it was abuelita, but I guess maybe that's a different dialect.
Abuelita is your father's mother.
Ah, I see what you're saying now. Your paternal grandmother.
Maternal. But yes, my abuela. You know what? No, you know what? Have fun with the blood. I'm done.
And this has been the Spanish with El Vacant, Spanish Lessons with El Vacant portion of the show. Thank you, El Vacant. And thank you, Soul Reaper. We'll talk more with you about your first blood match in the coming weeks.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir. That may be the funniest word. All right, at any rate, that was that was. Oh my goodness, that was the Celtic Nightmare, our Soul Reaper, ladies and gentlemen, and another creepy message from the one and only Eva, as only she could do it. That's the brilliance of this new studio. She could be even creepier now, El Vacant.
Oh joy! Just joy of joys.
Right?
Maybe I'm gonna bring my abuela back. Just gonna keep her seated right between us.
All right. Well, now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the first class lass herself, the reigning After Hours champion. Please welcome. She is the lovely Maeve O'Hare, now joining us here on After Hours. Top of the morning to you, lass.
It's nighttime, bossman. You feeling all right?
Top of the evening to you, lass.
Good evening to yourself. Good evening, Vacant.
Oh hi. Are you gonna correct my Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish. Why would I do that?
He doesn't either, clearly.
Well, just between the two of us, you don't speak Gaelic neither.
Ouch.
So, Maeve, anything you would like to? First of all, I know you probably want to remind some people about what's going on with you here in RAWF.
Of course I do. Thank you, Bossman. So as I mentioned last week, we are coming up on St. Bridget's Day, which is the 1st of February. And St. Bridget is one of the patron saints of Ireland, and is particularly special to me and many other Irish women. And so every year, this will be the 4th year in a row I've done it. I like to host a tournament. It's free to anyone in RAWF to join. And I think that it's worth your time. And I was even generous enough to sponsor one in the Indies. So if you don't fancy your chances here, you can always go join that one. But I do have to go ahead and warn you that both More Corcora and English have already joined that one as well. So I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah. Don't remind me how you had to go there, didn't you? At any rate.
I don't want anyone to go join the one that they think is easier and then find out that they're running, face first into a giant brick wall.
All right.
No, I didn't enter.
So everyone if you haven't signed up for that tournament, can I keep forgetting. Can I put links in the chat? Can you put links in the chat? Can any of us put links in the chat?
I mean, we can certainly try.
I'll see if it'll let me here. Come on. Paste. There we go. There we go. Hey!
Look at that.
What do you know?
You did it, boss man. Congratulations.
And watch this. I can even show it on the stream.
Will wonders never cease?
Although I don't think it shows up. That's all right. For those of you here who haven't signed up for it, there's the link. Feel free to go and do so. Tournament starts February 1st.
That's correct. And I'm always excited for this time of year. It's very special to me, and that's why I put up my own money for it. And I also feel very strongly about it, and that is why I do not join this tournament myself.
Right.
It's not about me. But good luck to everyone who signed up, and may fortune smile on most of you.
Now, let's talk about your opponent tomorrow. He's kind of had some ups and downs as of late, but and Billy Gunn, he's right now is not doing too badly for himself. Reigning Midnight Hobo champion, just coming off a big title defense against Chris Cage. And he's going to be going up against Nightcrawler on Yielding. What are your thoughts on facing Billy tomorrow?
I'm sorry, we're meant to have thoughts about it.
Please.
We're hoping to be facing him in a slightly bigger match in a few weeks. But Nightcrawler got there first. So good luck to him. Facing Billy, I mean, so here's the thing about Billy. And I think More Corcora probably said it a lot more floridly earlier on. He always surprises you in that you go in not expecting much out of him. And he surprises you and ends up doing more than you expected, and then you start counting on him, and of course he lets you down. So I'm not going to go in and say, oh, this is going to be an easy match and I'm going to win it without even trying. Because let's face it, it's not like I'm facing Enigma. But I do want to say that I think that he's lucked into a lot of what he's had here. And there's been a lot said here, there, and everywhere about how things go and who gets to be in the big matches and who doesn't. And I'm here to tell you right now, and you can take this to the bank. Everyone who's anywhere in RWF has gotten there over the backs of a lot of other people who are equally talented. It's hard work, it's luck. What it is not is a conspiracy. And I know Hobo's out there, and I apologize, Events and More Corcora, if he hops into your singlet again. But I'm getting awful sick and tired of hearing about how put upon certain people think that they are. And if you're not in the top 2 and you're not getting that world title match, it's because someone did better than yourself. And that goes for me as well. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am headlining every pay-per-view because I ain't. Part of that has been due to design. There was a very, very specific, very British reason why I weren't interested in going after the world title for these last few months. And I'm not particularly keen on throwing yourself against that big purple wall neither. But what I will say is if you're not happy with what you're doing in RAWF, then you need to look inward. Because no one's preventing you but yourself.
Wow. I didn't realize. I must not be paying attention to the locker room gossip. I haven't heard anything.
Well, no one's going to say it to your face, boss man.
Ah.
I mean, that's as much as them come up and then telling you that they think you're crookeder than a dog's hind leg, and surely they're not going to be that stupid.
This is true. Well, I mean, nah, really haven't anybody say it to my face over the last 12 years. So yeah, we'll see. But thank you.
It's my home. It's my home away from home. RAWF always has a special place in my heart, and I will defend it with my last breath because I believe in this company, and I believe in what you do with it, boss man.
Speaking of your home away from home, or actually your home, not away from home. It's your actual home.
My home to home.
We're a little less than 2 months.
I assume you're talking about Dublin.
I'm talking about Dublin.
Her home when she's not away from home.
Your home when you're not away from home.
You got your home, and then you got your second home, and then you got your home away from home.
Then you got your
Dublin is always and forever the home in my heart.
I don't think he knows about second home.
And then you got about your home on the range and your homeboys and all that. But anyways,
I don't have homeboys. Do you have homeboys?
If you go to a couscous restaurant, you might get the home runs.
The less we say about certain things, the better.
No,
but anyway, Bossman, I'm sorry, Bossman. You're trying to be very kind and point out that we're going back to my hometown for a pay-per-view. So please.
Well, not for a pay-per-view. It'll actually be a Superstars, but yes, I know.
I was hoping I could gaslight you into just keeping us there for the pay-per-view.
I would, but I already promised the people in Las Vegas
I know, and I know you got that whole thing with the season tickets to the Raiders. I understand, but we are going to be there for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm very excited to share St. Patrick's Day with all of you.
Yes, it's going to be an exciting weekend. I can't wait. Certainly, as Superstars will come to you live from Dublin, Ireland on March 16th. Just, what is it, day before? Is St. Patrick's Day the 17th?
St. Patrick's Day is the 17th, yes.
So, yes, the day before St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be, yeah.
Much better than having the show the day after St. Patrick's Day, because I don't think I'd trust half of this roster to be able to stand after St. Patrick's Day, much less wrestle a match.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, folks, you're on notice now. We're going out to Dublin day before St. Patrick's Day.
We're going to be in my hometown, so please don't embarrass me. They know who I work for there.
Well, you know that's probably a given that they're going to. So,
but I can tell you that my family is very excited that you're going to be visiting again.
Are they? I'm looking forward to seeing them again. Christmas was awesome with your family. It certainly was. I can't wait to go back and see, partake in some more of your ma's cooking. Yeah.
Well, she's gonna outdo herself now because you talked kind about her cooking.
Oh, good.
Don't eat for like the full week before you come in because she's gonna have you stuffed like a Christmas goose.
Well, that's good. That'll probably counter all the alcohol I'm gonna have in a couple days after.
Definitely eat before you go out. That's always the rule. You eat before you go out.
All right. So, with all of that being said, Maeve, do you have anything else you wanted to discuss, or El Vacans, do you have anything you wanted to discuss with me?
Well, I know what Vacant wants to discuss with me, but this is a family show.
I mean, how do you think families get started?
Not right here. They don't.
But that's fair. That's kinky even for me.
All right, Maeve, thank you for joining us this evening. Don't forget, we are off next week, so enjoy your week off there.
I'll have to find something to do with my time.
All right, but what did you hear?
Studio Cat. Whoa!
Where did you get the tiny
Studio
cat
Cat.
shirt?
Studio Cat. Studio Cat.
That's the Studio Cat.
I still want to know where you got the tiny cat-sized shirt.
He has
Well-
an entire PR department. He had them make it.
You know what? I have to say, homeless cats make me angry. Because I'm just like, what do you want to be homeless for? Come home with me. And then they run away.
No. Are you gonna be? Are you a cat person?
I've always enjoyed having pets. We've always kept pets at my house. And then I've got aunts and uncles with farms. I do not currently have a cat because I'm not home enough to take care of one. And so it wouldn't be fair to the cat. But I would purely love to have a pet cat again.
I'm trying to think what would be a good travel pet, like you could just take with you. Cat's not so great on
No,
that.
cats don't like traveling, and then they just yowl at you the whole time. And the last thing I need to do
Ooh, maybe
is
a
be
ferret.
on the plane for like 6 hours and just have it going. Meow.
What about a ferret?
Do ferrets travel well?
Well, I mean, everything is just a new adventure, so they just like get constantly to explore new things.
But then you have to have at least two because they like to have a buddy, and I don't
That's
know if
true.
I'm ready for
That's
two.
true. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, Maeve, thank you very much for your time this evening once again. Always a pleasure.
And
And
if you two are hungry, English is out here giving out biscuits.
well, I was just getting ready to bring him in, so you might want
I'll
to.
make sure he brings his stash with him.
You better bring me biscuits.
Good night, boss man.
Good night.
Bacon.
Hasta la bye bye.
All right, and
Still love
yeah,
watching her go.
yes, indeed. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning men's and Fubar City champion, men's Fubar City and Ultimate Gauntlet champion. His collection is growing once again. El Vacant. Let's bring in.
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
Immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the immortal Griffith. Where's my biscuits?
I see how it is. You know, I usually only give these to the ladies. I don't usually give these to men. Yeah, you got the hair. It's fine. Here you go. I'm a sticker.
Fine.
Wait, I'm just doing chopped liver here. I don't get. I like snickerdoodles. Yes, I brought you one as well, Bacon. Here you go. Ooh, it's still warm.
Yes, it is. That's really good. So, Griffith,
You don't say. You want to try that again after you swallow? Just
yeah, hold on. Okay, that's better. So, congratulations on being the new Fubar City champion, sir. Tell me how that feels. It's been a while since you've held that one.
It has been a little while since I've held this one. It's true. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It was a really good match. You know, first let me start with all credit in the world goes to Hotshot for even accepting the challenge. Most people in his position would have ignored the challenge completely while making sure to make it clear to you that the answer was not just no, but fuck no. But he
Which,
stepped.
which, if they did that, totally understandable. Then it wouldn't be the first, and they certainly won't be the last. But go ahead.
No, he did the thing that some people and I have heard whispers in their back are saying, "Oh, that was stupid. He shouldn't have done that. That was bad for his career." But no, it wasn't because yeah, momentarily he is without a title. But you know what he did get? He got word frame that will never die because he had the courage that so many people in the back of RAWF in that locker room have never shown and will never show. He accepted a challenge from someone that he wasn't sure he could beat. He accepted a challenge that it was fact. I mean, I can't speak for the man, but the odds would say he couldn't beat, and he took the challenge anyway. Why? Because he has what it takes to be one of the best in this company, and he has what it takes to be a champion. So my hats off, kudos to Hotshot for taking the match and for having a very good match. You know, it did go my way. You know, no shame in that. And I want to be clear. You know, he was. You know, he made a very big point about how that match. He was doing that match for those suffering from the fires in California. And at the end of that match, I made clear to him that that in appreciation for what he had done and for the courage he showed, I made a personal donation to that charity of his choice to help those afflicted people.
Yes, and one of the largest disasters in American history, and I'm not sure, but I think those fires are still at least smoldering at this point. So our heartfelt wishes and condolences and prayers go out to all of those affected by the wildfires in Los Angeles. But back to you. So it's been kind of an up and down couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, a loss in the multimedia contendership match, a surprising loss, but then, of course, coming back, winning the Fubar City title, and now tomorrow here in Oklahoma City, defending against the man who beat you 2 weeks ago, uh, Enigma. You're not going to let that happen again, are you?
No, it was a fluke, and good for him or them. Good for them, you know. So sometimes the ball just bounces the wrong way, and that's what happened in this case. Congratulations, good luck taking the match at Unyielding. You did sort of put a crimp in my plans of ending up with 4 titles in the near future. So to that end, I just want to make it clear. This just goes out to anyone who is a title holder in the RAWF. I'm just throwing out a blanket challenge. If anyone is courageous enough, like Chaz, to accept that challenge, let LA know, and I will gladly come and take that belt from you.
Oh, shoot. But let's talk
Look,
about
7 belts is hard. You have to play the game right to get to 7 belts. Like you have to get people to accept challenges with the way the rules are here in your company, sir.
This is true. This is true.
It's not like I'm getting a chance at the Superstars title because I have titles, so I won't get a shot at that. It's not like, you know, I get a shot at After Hours title because I have titles. It's not like I, you know what I mean? I guess I could start signing back up to all of the divisional titles. I haven't been doing that. I could do that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's many ways to get back up to 7 belts if you're the Immortal Griffith. You've done it before, and I'm sure it's possible you could do it again, no doubt about it. Let's talk about Unyielding, though. We do not know exactly who you'll be defending the men's championship against. It could be someone of your choice. Right now, it's a fairly decent chance it'll be someone as your choice, as you are awaiting winner between Mark Caliber and Scythe to see who will face you in the finals of the Arsehole. So you basically have a 50% chance. And since it's you, let's face it, against if it's no matter what, 75% chance of choosing your own opponent. Have you given any thought to this at all?
Not only have I given it thought, I already know who I'll be choosing.
No, that's good. That's nice. I like the fact that you're not gonna have to that you're not that you've already figured that out, and so
In
you'll let.
fact, why don't I just tell him right now, seeing he's here?
Oh, is he now?
Yeah. You see, because I believe that respect garners respect back. And because he was man enough to accept my challenge, if I manage to win the Arsehole of the Month and get to pick my own challenger, I'll be facing Hot Shot Chaz.
Wow. All right, that's good. I mean, we can't be that. Of course, that is not official because you do have to.
I have to win first.
You do have to beat either Scythe or Mark Caliber, whichever one comes out of the other semifinal matchup. But I'm sure Chaz is happy to know he's got a possibility of getting a men's championship shot at Unyielding, and that's I like that. That's very big of you.
Well, yeah, I'm huge in Japan.
No. All right.
Not gonna.
No.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
I tried.
All right. Well, let's talk now about.
Just for the record, I am even huger in Japan. Hell, I'm huger in this room. He's not wrong.
Okay. So that's great. It really is. That's why I said yes. That's the real reason they call it the land of the rising sun. But at any rate,
I see what you did there.
back to Unyielding, Griff. We do know you will be defending that Fubar City Championship for the first time, and it will be against Ken Costa. Now, we know that last week he thought it was going to be Hotshot Chaz's opponent, and someone said that he is still pretty confident, despite the fact he knows it's you now as the Fubar City champion. What are your thoughts on facing Kenny?
I try and think if I've ever actually faced Ken Costa in RAWF for a title. And I don't think I have. I've faced him in matches. I don't think I've ever had to defend a title from him. So I like firsts. I like new things. This will be a good experience for him to understand what the pressure is like when you face the immortal under the spotlight of a pay-per-view. He's got to grow. He's got to learn. He's on this journey, striving for excellence. Now we'll get to see how he handles a little disappointment and see if he can continue to grow from it.
All right. We shall see. I definitely want. It would definitely be the biggest victory of his RAWF career. I think I already mentioned that. Would you agree with that? If he were to somehow beat you in that Fubar City street fight?
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, first of all, I'm fairly certain it would be the highest ranking title he's ever had in the RAWF. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so right there, that's regardless of who he beats to get it, just getting that title would be a huge step up for his career. And then if he does it by managing to beat me of all people, the franchise, that almost cements his career as going upwards.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I shouldn't say that because Chris did it, and look where he is now. I mean, just. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that out loud?
That was out loud.
Oh, my bad.
All right.
I kid. We all know that I had a lot of respect for what Chris Gage did as champion. I'm not really thrilled with some of the choices he's made since not being champion, but it's his life. He does with it what he's going to do with it.
All right. So that we know now what we know. Then just talk about. Did I already ask you about Enigma? I did. Yes. So good luck.
You didn't actually, but
Oh, well.
I mean, it's okay. I forgot about it too. No, you did ask me about the loss the other week. We didn't. You got distracted, and we didn't follow up with the obvious afterthought of the title match. So, long story short, yeah, good for them. They got to win for me. They're going to go after a title. Good for them. Good luck. But they're not taking this one from me at all. Like there's no way I'm going to allow that to happen.
All right. Well, at any rate, thank you for your time, Griff. I appreciate it, and good luck to you tomorrow against Enigma.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was the Fubar City Men's and Ultimate Gauntlet Champion. He will have to defend all three of those within the next 3 weeks. Tomorrow, the Ultimate Gauntlet Championship, and of course, the Men's and Fubar City at Unyielding. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, he is your reigning, defending RAWF World Heavyweight Champion, but he too has a title to defend tomorrow on Superstars against an old foe, someone he knows very, very well and knows in this particular match.
Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. First of the fallen and last of the old gods. No use fighting because you can't beat those cold odds. Beginning of time and the end of days. Civilizations crumble under his gaze. Alpha and Omega, the wrath of the God King. Paragon of greatness about to pin you in that ring. Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness.
Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, that Big Purple, the Paragon of Greatness, joining us now on After Hours. Good evening, Paragon.
Good evening, Amadeus. How are we doing today, everybody?
Doing really good. Thanks for asking.
You sound very excited tonight, Paragon.
Well, first of all, I mean, when are you not going to be excited when you get to have a match with your best friend in the world, my bestie Chris Cage, inside the electric steel cage? I know he loves it so much. It's like Christmas all over again. It's a present for my best friend.
Okay.
You're still high for winning that title, aren't you?
You know what? I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you definitely seem overly excited tonight. So talk to me about having to defend the White Lightning tomorrow against Chris Cage. The two of you have had many battles for this title in that electrified steel cage. What's going to be so special about tomorrow in Oklahoma City?
Honestly, he's first of all, he's absolutely trying to reach that immortal greatness level in the White Lightning division. I think that one of the things that maybe separates this from our countless encounters is weirdly, like this strange anomaly started happening during the time that the two of us had been feuding over this particular championship, and that is, before that time, there had been maybe once ever the high voltage season had ended in a tie and it resulted in a triple threat match happening. Strangely enough, during our time, we had an awful lot of triple threat matches. I think that we actually may have had more triple threat matches than we've had one-on-one matches, and that means that we have some unique strategies still to unfold, things that we've still not discovered in the White Lightning division and inside that steel cage match in a championship match one-on-one. There's still a lot of story to be told. I've said this, and I'm fully on record about this. I think even beyond my opaque brotherhood member, Uncle Frank, I believe, truly, no irony, no jokes, the unsettled Chris Cage is the single greatest competitor in this division that has ever stepped into that cage. I think that this division embodies who he is, and he absolutely owns it in every way. It's a hell of a fight to take the championship off of him. Trust me, I kind of had to do the whole Dormammu thing with him a little bit too. But the thing about him that I really admire, and you know, I know I'm doing the Paragon thing a little bit here. I'm speaking positively about a situation where I have more negative feelings than positive, but I'm trying to look at this half full. What I admire about Chris Cage is that he knows what he wants. I can't necessarily say I agree with the things that he wants very often, but he's very passionate about the things that he cares about, and you see it translate every time that he speaks, every time that he wrestles, every time that some insanely violent thing that I don't necessarily want to discuss goes down. You see within the art form of who he is how much, not just that he cares about what he's doing, but how much what he is doing is him. And the White Lightning division, his Sparky, as he once called it, that is the singular most important thing to him. So, going into this match, I can joke about my bestie getting what he wants or whatever, but the thing that really is on my mind going into this match is I know that stopping Chris Cage from getting what he wants is a Herculean task that simply cannot be described in easy words like I'm gonna go beat him up. You can't do that. It's going to be an absolute war. There's going to be blood. There's going to be lots of pain. The two of us have done this enough times that I think that really all we can do is know that the better man on that night is going to win. But whether I win, whether Chris wins, I think it's kind of impossible at this point to determine who is definitively going to win this series, because I'm sure it'll happen again.
All right. Well, that's tomorrow here in Oklahoma City, but just a few weeks at Unyielding. It is you and Simply the Best for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I know that the Elevated Society as a whole would love to get their hands on that World Heavyweight Championship. What are your plans to keep it away from them?
Well, and I know this might be a shocking thing to hear, especially from the people in the Elevated Society, a number of which seem to have some sort of very strange distaste for me, despite the fact that even if with their actions, I've always been as respectful as much more respectful than they deserve. And I've always given them all credit where they deserve it. Oftentimes, when they're a subject that's being avoided, I will go out of my way to bring up the Elevated Society, the things that they're doing, try to include them in narratives that they should be included in. And that's always been true about Simply the Best as well. I think that he is one of, if not the best technical wrestler in RAWF. And there's one man that kind of meets the same criteria, and with all due respect to everybody else out there, I think that as far as technical wrestling goes, it's Simply the Best and Paragon of Greatness. There are great strikers out there. There are great submission experts out there. There are a lot of fantastic wrestlers, but in the technical aspects of this sport, I think it is Paragon of Greatness and Simply the Best. Two names that really kind of tell the story of what we can do in the ring. There is no way to strategize against Simply the Best. There absolutely is not. It's he's going to have a strategy for your strategy. You're going to have a strategy for his strategy for your strategy, and it's just going to hurt your head. What this is an absolute chess match. There can't be a reliance on one path to victory, because once you commit, if your opponent figures out what you're going to do in that match, it's all over. You have to be liquid in this match, and you have to be able to adjust to things on the fly.
Now, something I didn't mention earlier in in our unyielding review, because I wasn't, is that you and Ken Costa are going to have a match, correct? A special challenge match at
Uh,
Unyielding.
yep, we are. Ken came out to the ring a couple of weeks ago, and he made a challenge, and this was not a challenge to me specifically. It was actually a challenge to anybody. He wanted to prove himself against what he was calling the titans of this company. He wanted to show that it's not necessarily about championships, it's about proving how good he is to himself. And what he did was very courageous. It was very straightforward. It was something I admired and respected, because he didn't try to jump straight to a championship. He wasn't trying to challenge somebody for gold out of place. He was trying to make a great challenge just for himself. And the crowd started chanting for me, strangely enough, when he made this challenge. Of course, obviously, I'm happy to oblige for the fans, but moreover than that, Ken Costa is somebody I see a lot of myself in. Taking aside the Egypt thing, taking aside the fact that we're generally considered, air quotes, good guys, Ken has a similar passion and belief that I saw in myself when I was first trying to break through. And I remember those days, fighting a certain immortal that Ken is also going to be fighting at Unyielding, ironically, and just getting my ass handed to me over and over and over, and waiting for some of the other big names in RAWF to reach a hand out, try to work with me, perhaps give some advice, if nothing else, give me a platform to show how good I could be. And those hands didn't really reach out until I got there myself. And I remember thinking to myself, if I get there, if I get to the top of RAWF, if I become one of those major names and faces in this company, I wouldn't do the same thing. If I saw somebody that was really trying to break through, I would be happy to reach my hand out, try to give a platform to this person, give them a huge spotlight, a big time match to really show the world in a completely bigger stage and a bigger spotlight than they thought that they might be able to reach. This was a perfect opportunity of that. I mean, we've seen similar things in the past with a lot of other people, but Ken Costa is special because I don't just see a guy that tries a lot. I see a guy that's on a very similar path that I was on, and I see a future world champion sooner rather than later.
Well, interesting. Very interesting. So Unyielding is going to get very interesting for you, certainly, Paragon. And any final thoughts on Unyielding and what it holds for what the future holds for the Paragon agreements?
I try to carefully avoid the topic a little bit because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. We know what winning at Unyielding does, and we know that there are a large group of people with strongly vested interest in preventing my hopeful results for Unyielding from happening. So to that I say, I know what's going down at this pay-per-view. I'm not dumb. Consider the Dirty Outcast Club the next time. You might consider how easy of a path it might be if 5, 6, 7 people go up against Paragon of Greatness. Nothing is going to stop me from doing what I do best. That's going to Immortal.
All right. El Vacant, any questions for our world champ?
Hmm. No, I think he kind of covered everything. He doesn't really leave me a lot of room for questions, unless they're
No.
like silly questions.
Yeah, you got a point. He does seem to cover it all when he comes on here, and there's no doubt about it.
It's
Was that
true.
a
All
bad
right.
joke?
I don't shut up. That's an absolute fact.
I will laugh if that's a quote in the recap. But at any rate, Paragon. Thank you for your time tonight. Very much appreciate it. And good luck tomorrow against the unsettled one for the White Lightning Championship.
Yep. Also, shout out to Little Miss Sassy in my rankings match. Very talented competitor. I know I have a lot going on, so I don't have a lot of time to talk about that, but respect where it's due. She's going to be a very interesting match as well.
Indeed, she is. She's had her moments, no doubt, and we'll see what happens. Thank you, Paragon.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to bring on someone I don't have a video for yet or music, so we're just going to play this and bring him on. He is an RAWF Hall of Famer calling into the studio for the new studio for the first time. Let's bring on. All right, enough of that. I don't think that's a song you would definitely predict. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red-Necked Avenger is here. Good evening, R.A.
Good evening. Well, I got to tell you, that ain't the worst song I ever heard in my life, so I'm good with that, man. I'm digging the new digs. It's a nice little new setup you got here.
Yeah.
Did you meet the studio cat?
I'm sorry?
Did you meet the studio cat?
Yes, I did. You know, I gave it some little catnip, and, you know, it's wandering around in a circle over there in the corner. You know why?
You made a friend.
That's right. And I got to tell you, I'm liking this. You know, change is something that is constant. You know, that's the only thing that is constant is change, and I think this is adapted very well. And I'm really liking the new format.
It's not too bad. It's got a couple of quirks that that got to work out, but at the moment I'm quite pleased that I can play videos rather than people just looking at a blank screen or looking at a couple of pictures.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Man, you got a world at your fingertips, and that's a good thing. I ain't got no problems with that. You know, I like seeing things advance forward. You know, whenever there's an obstacle in the way, that you overcome it in a way that is beyond what other people would imagine. So I mean, that's been something that's been a staple here, and I appreciate that. And it's part of why I've been with it here all these years.
Now, RA, just to let you know for future reference, if you go out and find yourself a copyrighted free song that you'd like to have as your entrance, and I will come up with a little video like I have for everybody else thus far. So in future call-ins, you won't have to come in to a blank screen.
Oh, that'd be great. And by the way, the old thing that I had, one thing that's interesting about Hank Third is he never did copyright any of that stuff. So you're not going to get copyright struck.
That's true.
If you are, you know, I'll send you something else. But I've had some good roles. But man, it's new digs. I know it's been a while. There's been a lot going on in ORA's life, and been keeping it about 99 to nothing with my foot on the floor.
Yes, you have. I know you're good. I know you're a big old football fan, just like I am. Like I have to ask you. You know, I want to. How'd you like the first year of these college football playoffs? You know what my answer is.
Oh yeah, but you know, I think it is the most fantabulous thing possible because I've always been a proponent of it should always be settled on the field. You notice that in the second round, all four of the people in the last year's configuration were eliminated immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like it was, you know, Your boys did amazingly well, and this format gives people the chance to get there. I mean, like, how in the world does somebody who get their ass beat by Northern Illinois make it to number 2 in the nation?
Yeah.
It's the truth. I mean, all of that should be settled on the field, and I'm glad they finally got something that kind of gets you there. So, I'm not a Buckeyes fan, even though the Buckeyes are a Civil War oriented mascot, which I love. But I think it was great because it was settled on the field and not some jackass sitting in ESPN studios' opinion. I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was settled on the field, and that's how it should be.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. And uh, I mean, could the format be toyed with a little bit? Absolutely. But I do. I mean, I
I
do
think
think.
they, I think they got it pretty well close. I mean, football is a brutal sport. This ain't basketball where you can have 64 teams duking it out in a tournament. I mean, like, injury
No.
becomes a factor. The only thing that they do need to tweak that I think is the portal, the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Once somebody enters the transfer portal, they're pretty much done with the team they're in.
Hmm.
And that ain't a right answer, but I think that's an easy tweak. But I think they got it better this year than they have had it any year previous, because really all the way up until that, it was the opinion of sports writers of saying who they think are the best, and a few college coaches, that drinking what I'm drinking right now around the table and trying to figure out who they think is the best, and it was based on opinions and not on results on the field. So I think they got it. I think they got it better this time than they have before.
Well, we shall see. It's definitely a new day in college football, so that is going incredible. And of course, we got
Absolutely.
the NFL conference championships tomorrow. You got any quick predictions on who's going to go to the Super Bowl?
I don't care. I hope the ambulance wins.
That's the way I feel about it too. Uh,
Uh,
for me, it's anybody but the damn Chiefs. I'm
yeah,
sick of the damn Chiefs.
This sounds a
Kind of,
lot like when I say I'm rooting for the lighting rig.
yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
I'm with you. I mean, seriously, anybody that pisses and moans about their lot in life for $20 million a year, they don't need to kiss the cheeks of my ass. They need to kiss the balloon knot. I mean, fuck them all. Pardon my French.
Well, we got off topic here. This isn't. We haven't really talking about RAWF, but
It's all
uh,
good.
anything you got? Anything you got to talk about as far as RAWF and wrestling goes?
Man, I'm curious. What did Toxic Megatron Avenger do to piss you off that badly?
Well, first of all, wasn't me. That's Randy's deal there. That I don't.
What did you do to piss off Randy? I mean, like, you had to piss Randy off really bad to do that to the poor boy.
That's Randy's the one that comes up with those matches. But yeah, I mean, Avenger versus Avenger. That's all. What can you say? It's like well,
That
it's like
sounds cute, but bring a mop.
Oh goodness. So yep, that's good. And how are things? I ain't poked my head into or Renegade headquarters. Anything interesting been going on over there?
Renegade headquarters has been pretty steady for the time being. I mean, it's we do what we do. We pretty much break necks, cash checks, and then go on to the next round. I mean, it's business as usual. But I mean, there hasn't been any really big hiccups in there. I mean, there've been some hiccups around the WU world, and those hiccups are pretty well known. And all I know is I got a few receipts that are due, and I plan on delivering those soon.
I hope so. I want to see it. You know me. I always love it when the Redneck Avengers doing his thing. So, but
When I
anyways,
let
all right.
loose, when I let loose,
Yep.
wear rain gear.
Looking forward to it. Anything you wanted to talk to RA about?
I am not touching that last sentence with a 10-foot pole. You couldn't pay me enough to touch that sentence.
That's all right. And Vacant, you walked out of here with a good recipe for sangria. Now there's the Redneck Enterprises version of sangria because I don't usually use citrus fruit. I
And
usually
what do you
use chili
use?
peppers.
Uh, that's not sangria. That's spice.
Yes, it is. You know, the royal blood that refers to, it should come with some spice.
I mean, I would try it. I'm not saying I wouldn't try it. I do like some spice.
Oh, I figured you did. You know, you was raised on it. You know, your abuela. I mean, she didn't skimp on you, and she didn't make sure you was. She didn't make sure that you was a snowflake. You know, she made a tough young man, and I made sure that you know, if you want to carry that in the taco truck, you know, I give you matter of fact, the first 6 months are free.
All right, look, later tonight you're gonna show me some of this stuff. We're gonna try it out, and if I like it, it's going in the truck.
Oh, absolutely. I think you would like it. You know, I mean, it's better than donkey basketball.
What do we call this variation? Mangria?
I think that's a perfect name for it, mangria, because whenever you start out with reapers and when serranos are the mildest thing in there, it puts a burn in your soul.
Probably puts a burn in your shorts later too.
Maybe so. You know, it just depends on how much exercise you have afterwards.
All right. Well, all right. Thank you for calling in tonight. Glad you could make it. And like I said, if you find a song that you want, I'll get a video put together for the next time you call in, so you don't have to come into just some lame ass hoedown music that I had the most.
You know, that ain't the worst music I heard. I mean, I'd rather have hoedown music than rap music. So you're all right.
That's all
I'll
right.
get something to work with.
All right, folks. Anyways, all right. Appreciate it, and you have a good one. We'll talk to you later. All right.
I most absolutely will. Thank you, LA.
All right. That was the Redneck Avenger, ladies and gentlemen. This just in from RAWF headquarters. Breaking news. Nightcrawler will defend the RAWF Powerball Championship against Tigress at Unyielding. So a big one. And another big match signed for Unyielding. Unyielding is getting bigger and bigger as we speak. And quick thought on Tigress challenging Nightcrawler for the Powerball Championship, Elvagan.
That's gonna be a hell of a match. And that's not, it's wow. I don't know on that one. I got to think about that. I kind of gonna lean to Nightcrawler on that one.
Well, we shall see. We shall absolutely see. It's going to be happening. We'll talk more about it in a couple of weeks. Just a quick reminder, everybody, we will not have a program next weekend. Next Saturday, we're going to take a break, and we will see you all back here in 2 weeks' time for RAWF After Hours. Maybe some new surprises. Maybe we'll still playing with the studio, still having fun. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I heard?
I mean, whatever could that have been?
Studio Cat. Whoa! Studio Cat. Studio Cat. Studio Cat. Whoa! Studio Cat. Studio Cat.
Loving us some Studio Cat here tonight here on RAWF After Hours. We will see you all in a couple of weeks' time for El Vacant. I am Lord Amadeus. Good night, everybody.
Hasta la bye bye.